Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics. So abusive non-disclosure agreements have been seen as a huge problem for years. As far back as when Theresa May was Prime Minister, our government has said they would ban them. But neither she nor the following three Tory Prime Ministers ever did. But Labour are doing so now. So what exactly are abusive NDAs and why is it right that they be banned? But first, for daily news and politics, please click the subscribe button to stay notified. Right, short video here, but on a very important topic and something that I think is going to be more impactful after it happens than we can maybe appreciate beforehand. So I suppose the most famous type of NDA or non-disclosure agreement in the UK would of course be the Official Secrets Act. This prohibits signatories from being, who are privy to state secrets from sharing them. An obvious enough precaution for national security. But private businesses sometimes get employees to sign non-disclosure agreements themselves, which prevent them discussing sensitive information about their company even after they leave. Now, if this is for the purpose of protecting intellectual property, trade secrets, that is all well and good. However, increasingly NDAs have been used to gag workers from whistleblowing about abusive, potentially very unlawful practices in the workplace, bullying, sexual harassment and so on. Company bosses have argued that their NDAs apply here because obviously revealing such information will be very damaging to that company. And so it might, especially if that company takes no action against the abusive behaviour. But what might be protecting the company here is harmful to society. And my big thing when it comes to any organisation is I completely understand a private business prioritising profits and therefore its reputation. Don't blame them for doing that within the law. But it is for the government to prioritise the benefits to society. It is for the government to make sure that any organisation is running according to benefit to society. Let the business worry about the benefits to themselves. And on this occasion, the government is doing just that. It will no longer be lawful to use NDAs to silence workers from calling out sexual misconduct or discrimination. Apart from anything else, it's another obvious way to help Labour achieve their promise to tackle male violence against women. There should be no great fuss made politically about this move because even the Tories have said for many years that it should happen. They just never got around to doing it themselves. I guess they got a little busy ransacking the country and forgot. It's been included in the Employment Rights Bill and will be discussed in the House of Lords next week as the bill gets towards the end of its very long passage through Parliament. And although this particular story is flying under the radar a bit, it could be massively impactful. Back in 2019, MPs found that NDAs were used to cover up misconduct, sometimes serious crimes, and it was being used routinely by businesses. Routinely used. This means that once it is no longer lawful to use them for that purpose, and more importantly, when people are aware of that fact, what may we find out? Because if they're being routinely used for that purpose, that suggests that workplace harassment of one form or other must be absolutely rife, which will come as no surprise to many people. But covering it up will suddenly become way more difficult. So what will be the result? I mean, the ideal result is that businesses take seriously their legal duties of care for their employees. If they can no longer protect their reputations with NDAs, they're going to have to do it with better management. But for those businesses who do not adapt quickly or who have got a lot of skeletons in their closet, they may well find themselves with a secondary Me Too storm of their own making. Either way, this could really shake things up in British workplaces. There is a reason the Tories did not implement this very simple piece of legislation for years. They agreed it should be done. Wouldn't have been difficult. Nor would it have taken much parliamentary time. It's because they feared the wide-ranging consequences. So although this may not sound like the spiciest political news right now, I think once it's in law, once it's active, I think it could well be generating quite a few interesting stories over the next few years. It will also, as it's intended to do, make the workplace a more respectful place for millions of people. But let me know what you think in the comments below. For more content, you could subscribe to the channel or even join for access to streams and behind the scenes updates. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.